Hi there. So if you happen to own one of these DJI Osmo Pocket 3s and you notice that when you're walking you have that up and down bounce with your Osmo Pocket 3 and you don't, you're told, well, you got to do the ninja walk, or you got to do, and maybe you're a big guy like me, or maybe you just can't do the ninja walk. Or maybe you want to run and you can't do a ninja run. So what do you do? Well, if that intrigues you, keep watching, because you're watching Blue Collar Guy. Okay, we're back. So what is it that we can do to solve that problem? What can we do to fix that? Well, I found a device that people were talking about, and they say that it solves the problem. And I haven't really tested it yet, but I've seen the theory behind it, and I'm going to talk about it. This is just an initial talk. We're going to have to do the the hands-on test, and I'm going to get you some footage of that. So there'll be some footage included in the video of what it looks like with the device and what it looks like without the device. Now it's kind of raining out today, so I have to find a spot that can test the device, but the Pocket 3, as you know, it's not waterproof, so we have to be careful with the Pocket 3 on that. That's why I use the Action 4 and the Pocket 3, because they both have their place, right? So what exactly does it look like? Well, I'm going to go to the computer first. So let's just queue up the computer. Have me in the corner there. This is what it looks like. And it will run you, what's my buying options? 32 bucks. Okay. You may have to wait a bit for it, because I did. It comes from overseas. You can actually fold your Pocket 3 up with it, as long as you look, if you look at the bottom there, that's the small mount, not the battery mount, so just keep that in mind. But it does act like a case, not just the Z-axis solution. And there's an example of it mounted on a car. There's live streaming, I guess, cycling. Now, cycling is what I wanted to use it for, because if you look at some of my videos, you'll see that I put the Pocket 3 on a bike for a talking head mount because it has that tracking in it. But I noticed that there was a little bit of a jello effect when I was hitting hard bumps, and I have shocks on my bicycle. So when it's connected directly to a bicycle, that translates, that vertical vibration will translate right up through the camera. So now let's go back to me, okay, and this is it, okay, this is what it looks like. This little knob at the back here, and I bought this myself. This is not sponsored. I have no skin in the game. So this little button back here will control your tension. You push it in and then you slide it. Oh, hang on. I'm going to pop it there first. So you push it in and then you slide it, and then you can find the right tension, because if you don't want not enough tension and you don't want it to be too firm, otherwise it won't do its job. Now if you look, I've already connected the base part of the Pocket 3 on here. So I'm going to just try to get some more light on the subject here so that you can see that a little bit better. And it's got the, the USB connector, but this way, if I want to put my Pocket on there, I can just disconnect it from the battery. Instead of having to mess with all of this, I can just hit the button here, disconnect it from this point, and then I can put the Pocket 3 on there. Now I have to put it, of course, facing me like this, and now it's connected on there. And as you can see, it sits somewhat level. It's got a little bit of a bounce, but I'm going to take a little bit of the tension off and put it, I think I found a sweet spot right about here, right about there. So it's kind of level on that. So then the idea is that when you're walking, it's going to take that bounce. Now, as you can see, the camera is going up and down, but it's easing it. So it's not getting that jarring. So if I was on the bicycle, instead of it being a shock going up through the camera, it would just be a smooth transition, kind of like a nice sultry bounce, you know. Now, if you look in the bottom of this, it has a 1/4-20 mount there. It also has a 1/4-20 mount at the back. So I talked about one of these little connectors in my last video, and if I put this on the bottom here, okay, and I'm going to do that right now. I'm just going to switch back down to the downward shot. So let me just get back onto that. So I'm going to install, but before I do that, let me just remove my I'm going to remove my pocket camera here. So I've got to, oh, there we go. So it actually closes in there. And oh, by the way, that's what it looks like when it's closed into its case. And there's even a strap that comes with it, and it straps in there. So we don't have to dismantle it. It'll just, you know, work on that. But unfortunately, if I want to take it back off of this clip again the fast way, I need to disconnect it from this point and unscrew it to get access to the little button to pull it off. But to install it, it's not a big deal. All right, and you can't have it facing the other way, because then this won't fit into the little groove there. Okay, so now I'm going to connect this to this using the included screwdriver. Okay, so we're going to do this on camera, and hopefully it works, because you're seeing this the same time I'm seeing this. Okay, it seems to be threading in there. There we go. And I just got to see which direction it has to be facing. So here's this is the DJI clip. So we'll see. Oh, it doesn't go that way. It will fit this way, because the magnets will not match up. Okay. All right. So if I want to take out my camera, there you go. And now I'm going to switch back over to the other camera because this rig is just getting huge. So this would be the idea, you know, like let's say this is the bicycle mount. Now you're connected to the bicycle, and if you want to just disconnect it, you just hit the two little fingers and pull it off, and away you go. So if you don't want to sit there and thread it onto something, you can go that route, and that connector is about $17.99, and I made a video about it, and it's, you know, if you want to get the price on that and stuff, and where to find it, it's on Amazon. So this is the and I'm just going to pull off this handle now, and I will set that aside. There we go. Okay, so that's the idea. So I'm going to get some footage of what the Pocket 3 looks like without it. So all I got to do that is just hold it from here and then do a walk test, and then I can hold it from here and we'll see if there's any real difference. Some people say that there's not a difference at all. Now, I think that these type of things are based on like a frequency, okay? And so if you have a rhythm in your walk, it will counter that, much in the same way they use those counterweights in high-rise buildings to for wind. So if you know a little bit about construction, when they do those really super high-rise buildings, they have a counterweight at the very top of the building, and it can weigh thousands of pounds. So if the wind pushes on the building, the counterweight will go the opposite way to keep the building from swaying too much back and forth. this is a safety feature to keep the building from flexing so much that it breaks, because of course the higher up you go, the more something will flex. And this is kind of based on that principle. So, but if you're walking in an irregular fashion, it may not do anything. And I think that's what some people are complaining about. But if you're walking in a consistent walk, so it doesn't have to be a ninja walk, but if you're walking as your normal walk and you walk in the same, they call that your gait. So if your gait is consistent, then this will counter whatever your gait does, and it will do that. But if your gait is not consistent, I'm afraid I don't think anything will help you in that. Now, the other thing too that I was curious about was what would happen if I put another stabilizer onto the other stabilizer. So let me just reach down and grab that. This is an action camera gimbal, and this is the other type of stabilizer. So I'm just going to undo this kind of setup here, and I will start to dismantle that. And what I will do on this is I'll loosen this one up, and maybe, yes, maybe we'll go this route. By the way, this is the Falcon gimbal, and if you want to know what that one can do with this type of stabilizer, this is a Z-axis stabilizer as well. You can watch that video and tell me what you think of that one. I had to do it in a park, and I didn't have a lot of space, and there was a lot of people around. I didn't want to get too far away from my equipment because of where I live. Otherwise, they just take it. Yeah. Okay. So now if I was to clamp this onto that, now you're saying, why would you put a Z-axis stabilizer on another one? Well, I'm going to get into that. Okay. Bear with me. It's going to look pretty crazy though. It is going to look crazy. Like, this is, yeah. Crazy. Okay. Okay. So, this is what it would look like. And you would just simply take the tension down on this one, because obviously it's not as heavy as the other setup. So I could lower the tension on this one that's all the way down. So why would you do this? Well, what if you had like a really big shock? So think of it this way. You know how cars will have a shock within inside of another shock? The first shock is for the harsh bumps, and the second one is to smooth out the overall ride. And I was thinking about that, and that's why it inspired me to do this. And by the way, I can also adjust the handle so it faces the other way. So if you're wondering if I can put the handle the other way, I can. Okay. There you go. So you can have this type of a setup, and then this one would do the harsh bumps. So let's say you did a harsh bump, and then this one would smooth it out. So you see how that works? And would that do anything? I don't know. But it is kind of an interesting concept. This particular one was over $50. This works with heavier cameras. You know, the gimbals that I showed you and that sort of thing. But I just thought, well, what happens if you hooked a spring up to a spring? Because a lot of people have said, well, this is just a spring. Well, now you've got one type of tension on this one, and then you've got another one on here. So now you've got two. And I could even add a little bit of a counterweight, so if I wanted it to float a little bit better, then we can go like this on, oh, hang on, wrong way. So let me just find something else to counterweight it. Okay, there we go. So if I needed two handles, okay, so there's two handles, and then now I've got a serious counterweight. So if I wanted to have something with a little bit more balance, I'll just turn up the tension on this. Okay, so there you go. So now I've got more of a fluidic design, and that's interesting. But what does it look like on video? Well, I guess we'll have to go find out. So if you've been patient enough to watch all of this, and I'll try to edit some out to ease that pain, because we're both learning together, I'm going to go downstairs and I'll film with, first I'm going to film just with this going up the stairs, then I'll film with just this, and all I really got to do is just hold it there, and then I can hold it here and see if that does anything. And maybe it does. Maybe it really smooths things out, because actually, you know, I can just hold it here for this one, right? And then I can hold it here for this one, and we can see, because it kind of looks like it does make a little bit of a difference. It's kind of smoothing things out a bit on that. So, but we won't know till I do some filming. So let's get you that video, and then we're going to go to the conclusion. Okay, so this is our test. I'm using the DJI Mic 2. Now I'm just holding the Pocket 3 by itself. No Z-axis. The ground here is uneven, so then we're going to go up some stairs. I'm going to do one shot looking forward, and then we're going to do the first Z-axis, and then with the other one connected to it. As you can tell, I live near airplanes. So we'll try and get those out of there by doing a little bit of noise reduction. So I'm going to flip the camera around, and then we'll go that route. Okay, so there's the camera. Now I'm just holding the Pocket. I'm not doing any ninja walk. We're just doing a regular walk. The ground, of course, is uneven. And then we're going to go up the stairs. And then we're going to do an identical walk with the other one. Okay, and that's it. And we're going to turn around. We're going to come back down the stairs. And we're going to go back. So this is the stability of the Pocket 3 itself. No other stability added whatsoever. It's shooting at 4K 30. And that's it. Okay, click it around. Okay, so now we're going to do a shot of me. So now you're looking at me, and I'm going to be walking. We're just using the Pocket 3. Okay. No ninja walk, regular walk. Do I look like I'm built like a ninja? Come on. Up the stairs, no handrail, turning around, got the face tracking on me, going back down the stairs. All right, walking to the end. And now, without even cutting or switching a beat, I'm going to turn the camera around. Now we're going to use the first Z-axis that I was showing you before. Turn the camera around. Okay. Now I'm just going to hold it by that. Now we're using the first one. So I'm walking, and of course it's moving up and down. If you want to know what the sideways view looks like on that, check out my other video when I used one on the action cameras. And you'll see just how much it bounces. because it bounces quite a bit. And we're going to go around. And we'll see. It's moving around quite a bit. So tell me if you see any difference on that. Now, turn around. Then it face me. Okay, now we're going to do it again. Except this time, maybe facing me. It's like if it was a talking head video and I was using the Z-axis solution. Okay. It may even make it worse. Who knows? Turn around. Look down. As you can see, the weather isn't good. That's why we're not wandering too far where it could get rained on. Okay. And this is what it looks like. It seems to be moving around a lot more. Okay. Now, we're going to go for the double to see if that smooths things out better. Turn the camera around. Now I'm grabbing both. Okay, so now we have two of these Z-axis solutions coming down. And it seems like it smoothed it out a little bit. But it also kind of looks like it's a seesaw effect almost. It's kind of funny to look at. And I'm definitely getting an, oh, look, when I got up the stairs, it really bounced. So I don't know if that did anything good or not. All right. Now we're going, just walking normal. If anything, I'm a horrible walker. So it is moving around a lot. It looks really strange. All right. All right. So now we're going to click it around on me. This is kind of fun, I got to tell you. So now we've got both on here. I'm holding it from way back there. So that's why I'm a little farther back. And it is moving around a lot. We're going to go up the stairs. Turn around. No ninja walk, just regular walking. I'm not just, there's no point in buying these things if they don't do anything. And if this other device doesn't really do anything, and I'm also going to try it out on my bicycle. That's why I got it too. Okay. So that's it. So we've had one with just the pocket, one with the first Z-axis, and then the one with the second Z-axis. And just to show you, you can actually see them in frame when I pull the camera down a bit. Okay, so when you're not filming yourself and you're just filming other things, so you're looking out into the world, the Z-axis and the double Z-axis solution offer a little bit more stability, because as I was going up the stairs and turning around, everything seemed a little bit smoother when we were adding those extra springs. But it changed as soon as I went into selfie mode, because when the selfie camera was tracking my head, then it kind of exaggerated a lot of those other movements because it was locked onto me. And you'll see that in this shot. You'll see that it's actually better in the original DJI, but on the Z-axis and the double Z-axis, it actually got worse. Had I not had face tracking on, it probably would have been a lot smoother, because the gimbal head would have been moving around a lot less, trying not to track my face. So that is a lesson learned on that. Turn that feature off if you are going to do selfie mode and you're going to use these Z-axis and double Z-axis solutions. Well, that's it. So we're going to go back in the studio, have our final thoughts, and yeah, we'll go from there. Okay, we're back. So what have we learned from this? Well, it just shows what different levels of stability really are. Do you need all of this stuff? Absolutely not. Could you do a ninja walk and solve a lot of these problems yourself? Absolutely. However, if you're in a situation where you're putting it on a bicycle or something where you cannot control the vibration, it is something to consider. And it also looks kind of interesting. You have to admit, if you really want to draw some attention to yourself, then hey, show up at the beach or something with one of these and people say, what the hell is he doing over there? And some people might think it looks more professional as well. So if you're using your Osmo Pocket 3 to do any professional shooting and you want it to, I guess, dress it up a bit, well, I guess you could show up with something like this where you've got two handles on it and you can get different, you know, views and things like that. You can also use it to position the camera at different angles too, more comfortably. So if that kind of intrigues you, you can do that as well. But yeah, I thought it would be interesting. So I hope you like the footage that I showed you. I tried to separate each category so that you would know Pocket 3 without any of this stuff on it, and also with just this and with this. So how I've described it is this would have been, you know, just with the first added Z-axis, and this would be with two Z-axis hooked up to it. And yeah, so I thought it was kind of fun just to try it out, you know, and because you never know. You never know. Was it an expensive experiment? No, not really. $30 and another $50. But I use this for other things. So always repurpose your stuff. Don't just waste money on things like that. So anyways, that's it for this video. Take care. Be safe at work. And I will see you at the next video.